Practice Tips with Mr. K. Hope you're having a great time. I know we're on week 2, and I've got some new tips for you this week about practicing when you're at home. I just played a beautiful melody by Mr. Haydn called Surprise Symphony. And that's the melody I'd like you to work on when you have your practice time this week. There's many other melodies in the book, so go ahead on page 12 and 13 of your lesson book. Remember, this is the book 4th and 5th graders are using, so go ahead and practice all of them. But let's look today at Surprise Symphony, line number 35. Line 35 has 3 lines, so it's a lot of playing. If you want to break it down to little bits, I would suggest playing the first line and dividing it in half. So here's half of the first line. Remember, I need my music stand. I've got my instrument. I'm sitting up in a regular chair, and I'm going to play just half the line. That would be the first 4 measures if you're counting each of the measures. Here's half the line, and I'm going to play at a pretty slow speed. In fact, I'm going to use something to help me keep the speed. This is an oldie, but this is a metronome. It helps me keep that speed when I need to play. So let me turn this on here. I might go a little slower, but I can change the speed, and I'm going to stay with this beat. It's like me counting at school. So each of those sounds is 1 quarter note you're going to play. So I can put it right there in front of me, and I can use that metronome to help me keep that steady beat. And at the end of the lesson, I'll tell you how you can get one yourself, or another way to practice to help keep that steady beat. So now I'm going to play along with the metronome. You might not hear it, but I can hear it, and I'm going to play half the line. 2. There's half the line. I didn't make any mistakes, and I stayed right with the metronome, which is I want to keep that steady time. So if I didn't make any mistakes to that part, here's the second half of the line, where I left off. 1, 2. I made a mistake in that second half of the line, so let me go back and fix that mistake before I go on. Here's that second half again. I'm going to fix my mistake. 2. There we go. Now I've played the whole first line, but I divided it into 2 parts. Now I'm going to try to play that whole melody all the way through without stopping, still staying with my metronome. The nice thing about our metronome is you can make it go faster or slower, whatever speed you can play, as long as you stay with it. So here's the whole line. I've got the whole first line. I counted it perfectly. I played every note right. Now I'm going to play the next 2 lines on 35, which are called the variations. That's going to make me play not only just easy quarter notes and half notes, but those 8th notes, where there are 2 notes in a beat. So for every beat I hear, I have to play those 2 notes. And they're joined together. You know what 8th notes look like. We've gone over those. So here's the second line. I'm just going to play 1 line and see if I can play those 8th notes right. 1, 2, 3. I did it. I played the whole line. Now here's the last line of the piece, and I'm going to watch out for those rests. And there it is. I've played the whole song, but I haven't played it all together yet. Now, playing with the metronome is a great way to keep in time. But another way to do that is to play with the recordings. Each of you, when you bought the book, or were given the book as fourth graders, there's a recording, a CD in the back. I suggest that's a great way to practice to play along with the CD. So I have the CD queued up on my record player stereo behind me. You can use your CD in a CD player if you have one, or most of us probably play it through a laptop or a computer. Whatever it is, this is a great way to practice, and I suggest while we're apart, this is a great way to feel like you're part of a group. So I'm going to click this on, and I'm going to play along with the recording. The first time the recording, I'll be playing with another instrument that's on the recording. The second time, I get to play all by myself. Just going to find my recording here.
Number 35.
And here we go.
Surprise Symphony.
Well, I'm glad I found my remote control and played the CD. So now you've heard how it sounds with the music. That's a great way to practice. Here it is again, and I'm going to play this out, and then the recording of this lesson will stop. But now I'm going to play it by myself, and you won't hear that flute player behind me on the CD. You'll just hear me, and I'm following along with the beat, staying together. Well, hope you have a great practice time. Play all your lines this way, and you have a great week. See you later.